There is a moment that comes for most women, and nobody warns you about it. You walk past a mirror on an ordinary morning, and the face looking back at you stops you cold. Not because it is ugly, because it is old. And for the first time in your life, you do not recognize the woman standing there. I had that moment at 60. I stood in my bathroom on a Tuesday morning with the light coming in through the window, and I looked at my reflection for a very long time. The lines around my eyes, the dullness in my skin, the way my face seemed to be quietly surrendering to something I had not agreed to. I was not vain. I had never been a woman who spent hours in front of a mirror, but something about that particular morning felt like a door closing. Like the world was telling me that the best version of me was already behind me. What I did not know yet was that the most beautiful years of my life were not behind me at all. They were waiting in the most unexpected place I could have ever imagined. And it had nothing to do with creams, nothing to do with treatments, nothing to do with anything I had ever been sold or told or promised by anyone. It had everything to do with what I quietly started placing on my plate every single morning. I am 63 years old, and I want to tell you exactly what happened, and why I believe it can matter to you too. I want to talk about something that most women my age carry quietly and never say out loud. There is a particular kind of grief that comes with watching yourself age. Not the dramatic grief of loss or tragedy, a quieter one. The grief of feeling yourself becoming invisible. I had spent 40 years being seen, being present, being a woman who walked into a room and felt comfortable in her own skin. And then somewhere around my late 50s, something began to shift. Not overnight, slowly. The way seasons change without announcing themselves. I noticed it first in the way people looked at me, or rather, the way they stopped looking. I noticed it in the way I began avoiding certain mirrors, certain photographs, certain conversations about beauty and age. I began to believe the story that society had been quietly telling me my entire life, that beauty belongs to the young, that after a certain age, a woman simply becomes less visible, less relevant, less herself. I believed that story for longer than I am comfortable admitting, and I think you may have believed some version of it too, because it is everywhere, in the advertisements we see, in the way aging is spoken about, in the silence around what women actually experience when they look in the mirror after 60. Nobody talks honestly about that silence. I want to talk about it today, because what I found on the other side of that belief changed everything I thought I understood about beauty, about aging, and about what my body was still capable of feeling. For most of my adult life, I had taken my body quietly for granted, not in a careless way, simply in the way you take for granted anything that has always been there. My skin, my energy, the way I looked when I caught my reflection unexpectedly and felt nothing alarming. Then 60 arrived, and it did not arrive gently. I remember a specific morning about 3 weeks after my 60th birthday. I was getting dressed for a family gathering, a simple lunch, nothing significant. I put on a dress I had worn many times before, a dress I had always felt good in, and I stood in front of the mirror, and I did not feel good. Not because the dress had changed, because I had. My skin looked tired in a way that sleep was no longer fixing. My face looked like it was carrying something heavy that no amount of rest was lifting. I sat on the edge of the bed for a long time that morning, not trying, just sitting, feeling something I did not have a clean word for. I think you may know that feeling, that particular moment when your body stops feeling like a home and starts feeling like something you are slowly losing. I had spent 60 years living inside this body, and that morning was the first time I genuinely did not know how to feel about it. What I had not yet understood was that this feeling was not the end of something. It was the very beginning of the most important change I would ever make. After that morning, I did something I am not proud of. I stopped looking. Not dramatically, not consciously, but slowly and quietly, I began avoiding the moments that asked me to see myself clearly. I stopped taking photographs at family gatherings. I started standing at the back of group pictures when I could not avoid them entirely. I bought darker curtains for my bathroom because the morning light had started to feel unkind. I told myself this was just getting older, that every woman goes through this, that there was nothing to be done and no point in dwelling on it. I believed that completely. And I think many women in their 60s and beyond believe the same thing, because nobody around us is saying anything different. The world does not offer many honest conversations about what it actually feels like to watch your face change, to feel your energy shift, to wake up one morning and realize that the reflection looking back at you has become someone you are still trying to get to know. So we go quiet about it. We carry it privately. We tell ourselves it does not matter as much as it clearly does. I carried it that way for nearly 2 years, quietly, privately, with a smile on my face in every room I walked into. And underneath the smile, something important was waiting, something I had not yet given myself permission to look for. But what I found next was not at all what I expected to find. What comes next is the part of this story that almost no one ever says out loud. And it may be the part that matters most to you personally. I did not set out to change anything. That is the honest truth of how this began. It was not a decision I made after research or reading or following someone's advice. It was an accident, a small and completely ordinary accident that happened on a Saturday morning in my own kitchen. My granddaughter was visiting. She was 7 years old, and she had developed a passionate love for strawberries that particular summer. She asked me if we could make a fruit bowl together. So we did. We cut strawberries and placed slices of mango in a bowl and added some blueberries she had spotted in the refrigerator. And because she was eating with such complete joy, and because the colors in that bowl were so genuinely beautiful, I sat down and ate with her. I did not think anything of it that morning, but something about that simple bowl of fruit stayed with me. The next morning I made one for myself, and the morning after that, not because I had a plan, simply because it had felt good, simple, honest, like something my body recognized and quietly welcomed. I did not know then what I know now about what I was doing for myself. I only knew that something in that bowl felt like kindness, like I was finally paying attention to something I had been neglecting for a very long time. And the thing I found next surprised even me after all those years of not looking. The changes did not arrive dramatically. I want to be honest about that because I think honesty matters more than a story that sounds too perfect. They arrived slowly, the way good things usually do. The first thing I noticed was not in the mirror. It was in how I felt when I woke up in the morning. There was a lightness that had not been there before. Not energy exactly, something quieter than energy. A sense of being less heavy inside my own body. I had carried a kind of dullness in my mornings for so long that I had simply accepted it as part of being 60, and then quietly, without announcing itself, that dullness began to lift. I noticed it in my mood, in the way I moved through the hours of an ordinary day. I noticed it in my skin perhaps 6 or 7 weeks after that first Saturday morning with my granddaughter. I was washing my face one evening and I stopped, because the skin under my fingertips felt different. Not dramatically, not impossibly, but different in the way that you notice when something that was dry and tired begins to feel like itself again. I stood at that sink for a long moment, feeling something I had not felt in a very long time. Something quiet and private that I hardly knew how to name. I believe you may have had a moment like this in your own life. A moment when your body offered you something unexpected and you were not quite sure you had earned it. There is something buried even deeper beneath all of this, and I hope you will stay with me. The final pieces of what I want to share with you are the ones that took me the longest to find, and I believe they may be the most important of all. It was approximately 3 months after that first fruit bowl with my granddaughter. An ordinary morning. No occasion. No reason to look at myself any differently than I had on any other day. I was standing at my bathroom mirror, doing nothing more significant than brushing my hair. And I stopped, because the woman looking back at me was not the same woman who had sat on the edge of her bed 3 months earlier, feeling like something was being slowly taken from her. Her skin had color in it, a quiet warmth that had not been there before. The lines were still there. I want to be honest about that. I am 63 years old, and I am not telling you the lines disappeared. But the face around them looked alive in a way it had not looked in years. It looked like a face that was being taken care of, like a face that belonged to a woman who had finally decided to pay attention to herself. I put the hairbrush down, and I stood there for a long time, not analyzing, not measuring, just looking. And for the first time in 3 years, I looked at my own reflection and felt something close to gratitude. Gratitude for this face, for this body, for the quiet, stubborn fact that it was still here, still trying, still capable of responding to kindness when I finally offered it some. I had not expected that feeling at 63. I had honestly stopped believing it was still available to me. I was wrong about that, and I am quietly glad I was. If I could sit with the woman I was at 40 and tell her one thing, it would not be dramatic. It would not be profound in the way that big life advice usually tries to be. It would simply be this: pay attention to what you put into your body. Not with fear, not with rules, with the same quiet care you would offer someone you genuinely loved. Because I spent 40 years treating my body like a machine that existed to carry me through the obligations of my days. I fed it when I remembered. I rested it when I had no choice. I asked everything of it and gave very little back. And then at 60, I discovered something so simple that I am almost embarrassed it took me that long to find it. That my body was not finished with me. That it was still listening. That when I began to offer it something real and nourishing and honest, it responded in ways I had stopped believing were still possible. I think many women in their 60s and 70s have stopped believing their bodies are still capable of responding. I understand that feeling. I lived inside it for 2 years. But I want to say clearly and honestly from where I am standing now, your body is still listening to you. It has not given up on you, even in the moments when you may have quietly given up on it. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply begin with something small, with something real, with a bowl of fruit on an ordinary Saturday morning that changes everything without announcing itself. I have thought a long time about what the most honest thing I could say in this video actually is, and I think it is this. I did not find a secret. I found something I had always known and simply stopped practicing. That the body responds to care, that it responds to attention, that it responds to being fed something real instead of being forgotten. I spent so many years of my life looking for beauty in things that were sold to me. Creams and treatments and promises in beautiful packaging that always left me feeling like I was still not quite enough. And then at 60, I found it in a fruit bowl that my 7-year-old granddaughter helped me make on a Saturday morning. That is not a dramatic story, I know that. But it is a true one. And I think the true ones are the only ones worth telling at this age. Because you and I are both old enough now to know the difference between something real and something that only sounds good. What I found in those months was not just a change in my skin or my energy or the face that looked back at me in the mirror. What I found was a kind of respect for myself that I had quietly lost somewhere in the decades of living for everyone else, and that I think is the most honest beauty secret I have ever known. Not a fruit, not a formula, a decision to finally take myself seriously. I do not know where you are in your own journey today. Maybe you are standing at a mirror that has started to feel unkind. Maybe you have already begun paying attention to yourself in quiet ways, and you are simply looking for someone who understands why that matters. Maybe you are somewhere in between. Wherever you are, I want you to know something. It is not too late. I know that sounds like something people say, but I am not saying it as a comfort. I am saying it because I lived it. At 60, I believed the best of what my body could feel had already passed. At 63, I know that was one of the most mistaken beliefs I have ever carried. Your body is still here, still responding, still capable of surprising you in the quietest and most beautiful ways. Maybe start small. Maybe just pay a little more attention tomorrow morning to what you place on your plate. Not with pressure, not with a plan, just with a little more care than yesterday. That is all I did, and it gave me back something I had not realized I was missing until the morning it quietly returned. I am grateful you stayed with me today, more grateful than I know how to say. Before I go, there is something I want to say clearly. Everything I have shared in this video comes from personal experience and personal reflection only. It is not medical advice. It is not nutritional guidance. It is not professional counsel of any kind. I am not a doctor or a nutritionist or a health professional. I am simply a woman who paid closer attention to herself at 60 than she ever had before, and chose to speak honestly about what that felt like. If you are facing serious health concerns, please reach out to a qualified professional who can help you directly and personally. The stories and reflections shared here are meant only to offer comfort and honest company. Take whatever feels true to you. Leave anything that does not. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here with me today. If something in this conversation stayed with you, I would be quietly grateful if you chose to subscribe to this channel. There are more stories coming, more honest conversations like this one. I would love for you to be part of them. Simply press the subscribe button below. It means more than you may know.